Hi guys, today I'll be introducing you how I do my Wyvern 13. I mean, this is a noob friendly guide, so almost everybody will be able to achieve doing this run. So I hope that I'll be able to help you guys get through it and introduce you the ways how I'm going to do this run as smoothly as possible. So let's get on to it. Alright, so this is the team that I use for my Wyvern 13. My tank is Angelica, which I put at the front. I'll just show you the stats of my tank. So you need your tank to be able to take a lot of damage because the Wyvern hits very hard. So you need at least decent amount of defense. You also need health, and you also need speed, because every time the dragon hits you, you will be knocked back. So what you need to pay attention to is you need about 1500 to about 1800 defense, and between 19,000 health to about 22,000 health. That will be ideal. And then after that you can aim for between 150 speed to about 180. That will be decent enough for Angelica. And let me just show you the artifact that I use. I use the Proof of Valor artifact and I leveled it up all the way to about 22. I think about level 15 will be enough, but yeah, right now I already leveled this to 22. And then what I have is my necklace. I aim for health percentage. So ideally, of course, I would like to have a level 85 necklace, but I think as long as you have about 50% and above, it will be good enough. And then you can have your defense as a substat, about as long as you have defense, and then speed as your substats. The other two stats are not really important because you are just using Angelica to tank. So this is my necklace, then I'll be showing you by ring now. Okay, for the ring, you also need your health percentage as a main stat so that you can boost your health. So in this case, mine is a level 75 ring and I have about 60% health. And then I have defense at 24% and speed. The other two stats are not that important. Of course, ideally, if let's say you have effect resistance and so on, it'll be okay. Okay, and then for the boots, right, I'm using 40 speed boots. That means the speed being the main stat, and then after that I try to aim for defense and health as the substats, and also effect resist if possible. The other stats are not that important. Okay, and for my chest, I also use that means for chest, you try to aim for health, defense as usual. So if you notice, right, all my gear is health, defense and speed. So you should be aiming for health, defense and speed. And the same goes for my helm, also health, defense and speed. And then my weapon also. I hope to get a better weapon, but currently this is my weapon. So my weapon, I have a lucky roll where my health is about 29% and then speed. So these are very easy to obtain gears, things that you can farm using Wyvern 11. So to be able to get the gear needed for Wyvern 13. So this is the ideal, at least definitely your tank will be able to do it with this kind of stats. Okay, now I'll be introducing you to my DPSs. So right now we'll start with the Taranor Guard. Alright, why do I use Taranor Guard? Because Taranor Guard is a very reliable defense breaker. As you can see, his first skill, which is Spear Art, has a 75% chance to decrease defense, which means he can defense break the boss. And what I do is I disable all his other skills. I only use the first skill. So he's only there to apply the defense break, and also because I use the Junkyard Dog artifact that can also burn the boss, 50% chance to burn the boss for 2 turns, which means that he has a chance to apply 2 debuffs on the boss, which is very important because every time you apply 2 debuffs on the boss, he will aim the tank only. If not, he'll randomly hit any target, which will cause your DPS to die. So right now I'll just show you the stats needed. Alright, for Taranor Guard to work, you need him to go first. He must always go first so that you can apply the defense break so that all your other DPSs can do more damage, put more debuffs and so on. So what I did was I built my Taranor Guard to be above 200 speed. In this case it's 219. So anything I think above 200 will be good, but hopefully you can build your Taranor Guard to be the first to go so that he can have as many turns to be able to apply the defense break, because the dragon has a chance, you know, when he has a shield on, you'll need to be able to break the shield, so a defense break will help. And because if he's fast, right, and he missed, because it's a 75% chance only, you still have 25% chance to miss. So if he misses on that turn and he's fast, he'll be able to apply another defense break as soon as possible. And he also be able to apply the burn effect from the junkyard dog. Okay, so now I'll just show you the gear that I have. I mean the ideal stats that I hope that you can at least get. Okay, so effectiveness, right, you need about 65%. You do not need like what I have. Hold on. What I have is 65%, as in 107%. So it's way too much, but anything above 65% will do. And then you hope to have also critical hit chance of about 85%, so that you definitely can crit the boss. Critical hit damage is not that important because I use him only for debuffing and defense breaking. So he's more down there to apply the debuffs so that my other DPS can do the job. Okay, so I'll just show you the gear that I use. For the necklace, in order to get that critical hit chance up, because it's quite hard to get the gear needed if you have speed and you have everything else. So I try to go for speed, of course, because I want my Taranor Guard to go first. And then I try to also aim for critical hit chance so that I can get about 85%. So you can mix around the gears, because for Taranor Guard, as long as you can hit the stats needed, which is 85% chance, the crit chance and the effectiveness, you are good to go, as long as your speed is also above 200. Okay, so I use an effectiveness ring because I do not have enough effectiveness. Okay, so if you notice, all my gear has speed. Hopefully we have attack, and we also have critical hit chance. Most of my gear is this, and I also go for speed boots, effectiveness, and also attack. So I put a lot of my good gear on my Taranor Guard so that he will be able to apply the defense break and also the burn, so that he will be able to debuff the boss on the first turn. Because normally on the first turn, that's when you cannot apply enough debuff and the boss will wipe your team. Alright, now we'll move on to Alexa, my other debuffer, and also you can actually build her to be either a DPS or another debuffer. So in my case, because I want my run to be really reliable, where I hope to achieve about 100% win rate, so for me, I opt to use another debuffer, which is Alexa. So okay, what I did was, because she's a thief, she can equip the Taunt Sleeve artifact. So my Taunt Sleeve is only plus 18 because I do not have enough of the artifact to max it out, but it has an 80% chance to inflict bleeding for 2 turns, which is very important, because let's say every attack that she does, she has an 80% chance to inflict bleed, which means that she can inflict another debuff on the boss just in case your Taranor Guard misses one of his debuffs. So you can always manage to apply at least 2 debuffs on the boss, which is very important. Okay, so what I did was, my Alexa will go second after the Taranor Guard. So she also needs to be fast because she needs to keep applying all these debuffs on the boss. So my stats, as usual, I'm also aiming for effectiveness. Effectiveness is very important, 65% at least. Then after that we'll be aiming for 200 speed and above as usual, and also above 85% crit. So that means if you have 85%, it's good enough already. Okay, so ideally, of course, if you want to hit 200 speed, right, you will need speed gear. So in my case, I tried to use speed gear, and I have 4 of my speed gear, and then to achieve the effectiveness needed, sometimes you do not have good enough gear and so on. So what I did not have good enough gear also. I used an effectiveness ring which adds 60% effectiveness. If not, actually, as you can see, I only have 105 effectiveness. If without the 60% effectiveness, I only have 45%, which means that I have a lot of chance to miss debuffing the boss. Okay, so as for the stats, right, you'll as usual be aiming for speed, attack, effectiveness, and crit. Okay, these are the 4 core stats. And then for the boots, you'll be aiming for speed, like I said, attack, crit. Critical damage is of course ideal. If let's say you can add the other one, which is effectiveness, that will be ideal. So for Alexa, you also should be aiming to max out all her skills, because it's very easy to max out Alexa. She does not use Mologoras now anymore. So for her to enhance her skills will be very easy. Like you can see, the materials needed are very easy to be able to do it. And her second skill, which is very good, is a 100% chance to inflict 2 poison effects, which is another chance to debuff the boss, which is why I make Alexa fast, so she'll be able to always apply all these the debuffs. As for her first skill, which is a lot of DPS, because if let's say you have a 100% chance to crit or 85% chance, you'll be able to hit another time, which means another chance to debuff the boss, which is why I emphasize on debuffing. Okay, let's move on to the next. Alright, so for my last DPS slot, I use Sigret. Okay, I'll just show you the stats of my Sigret and why I use her. Okay, so basically, of course I aim for 85% crit and above. I do not have good enough critical hit damage gear, but this will have to do. It's about 233% critical hit damage. I have effectiveness of above 65% or so. And for her, you want her to be slower than Taranor Guard, but she still has to be fast so that she can apply as much bleeding effects and debuffs. Because how Sigret works is, the more debuffs you have on the boss, her third skill will be able to do an insane amount of damage on the boss when she does her third skill. So if let's say you can maintain as many debuffs on the boss, your run will be very smooth, because firstly, the boss will have to emphasize hitting your tank, and once the boss emphasizes hitting your tank, you are safe, because Angelica will be able to heal and get you through. So your DPSer will be just down there damaging the boss. So in this case, I aim for my stats being over 3000 attack, and then hopefully you have over 200 speed, above 85% crit, and of course above critical damage of, hopefully ideally above 250%, and then effectiveness of 65%. So I will just show you some of my gear. I have already upgraded some, reforged some of my gear already. So my boots, I went for 45 speed boots, 40 speed boots if it's level 85, but I reforged it so it's already 45 now. And then I have critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and effectiveness. So try to put your best gear on for Sigret if you can, or any other DPS that does the main damage for your team. Okay, and in this case, because I do not have enough effectiveness, I use effectiveness speed ring with effectiveness main stat, and I try to get critical hit chance, critical damage, speed, and attack. So these are the 4: critical hit chance, critical hit damage, attack, and speed. These are the 4 substats that you should aim for in almost all your gear. So I'll just show you all my other gear. The necklace, I aim for 60% attack so that I have as much attack as possible. As usual, effectiveness, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, and attack. All my gear is mostly catered to doing damage for Sigret, and also because she needs a bit of speed, so I go for speed as a main substat for most of my gear. And then for the artifact, right, ideally you should be aiming for Daydream Joker. Daydream Joker does 3% of the enemy's max health when attacking, which is a lot. Let's say you manage to debuff the boss a lot already, and then Sigret managed to do her third skill, you'll be doing at least 60k damage and above. So I'll just show you. I max out all her skills except for the last one. Of course I hope to get max out everything, but currently this is the stat. So she's able to do 2 bleeding effects for the first skill, 70% chance. So she has a chance to also apply debuffs, which is why she is ideal for the run. And then for a second skill, she applies 100% chance to make the target unhealable and also inflict bleeding, which means you have another DPSer that can debuff the boss, which is very important. So the boss will not have to aim another target, which he will only be aiming the tank at all times. And then of course the last skill will bring up why I go for a full debuffer team. So because how Sigret works is that she penetrates defense by 30% with an additional 10% for each debuff inflicted on the enemy, which is a lot of damage if let's say you have a lot of debuffs. Hopefully my run later will be able to show you this. So let's get on with the run. Alright, so I'll just start the run and then we can see how the run goes. Most of the time this has about a 95% chance of passing. So my team CP is 430,000. Okay, I'll just start it so that you all can take a look. So for this run, as you can see, right, Taranor Guard always goes first, and as you can see, he did not apply the debuff this time, which is why we need him to be fast. You see, this time he only applied the burn, which ideally, I hope that he can apply burn and defense break. So that's not ideal, but that is why I make him fast, so that he will be able to apply the debuffs as much as possible. So you see, in this case, he missed again, but you can see after that that we can apply a lot of debuffs on each of the enemies, which is a very good chance to make the boss aim Angelica only. So you see, by making the team fast, right, they'll have a lot of turns before the monsters even do anything, and you'll have quite a smooth run. So you can see that now with the defense break, and then there's also a lot of chance to put a lot of debuffs. So this is the debuffing team. As you can see, I already applied 3 debuffs on the first turn. So the boss will focus on Angelica. You can see there's a lot of debuffs. So as usual, the boss will just focus on Angelica and your run will be smooth. As you can see, my Angelica can tank quite well, and it's a very low chance for her to go to almost no health even after the dragon hit her a lot of times. Okay, hopefully this shield phase, the Taranor Guard can apply the defense break. So now that it's applied already, you can see that it's very smooth, because after that the shield will just go down really fast. So it's a very smooth run where there's very little chance of it failing because you have so many chances of putting debuffs. It's not the fastest run, but it's a very reliable run. So I hope that this helps you guys. And then I'll be posting another video where I'll be doing one with a folder. So that means it's a 3-man run with a folder. So I hope you guys support and subscribe to this channel.